Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today on Not a Nail Tech, I'm going to be creating some glittery nails that have kind of like a tile pattern effect on the top. So I decided to do a brownie glittery base. So I'm going to start with Ancient Redwood as our base colour and pop on a couple of layers of this, curing in between, and this is just going to kind of give the colour to the whole look. Once that's cured, I'm just going in with that second coat just to make sure it's totally opaque. And this look is going to be a little bit fancy, glittery. You could wear it for a special occasion, for a holiday. It's kind of that kind of look, but you could totally change it with different colours as well. I have seen this done with like bluey tones and purpley tones, so you can totally change it to whatever fits your kind of style. Once that's cured, I'm going in with Paparazzi and just doing a layer of this on top, and this is just our glitter that's going to shine through our design. Once that's cured, I'm just going in with a second layer of this just to build up that glitter and make it more sparkly, because who doesn't love more sparkle? I really like the fact that this glitter polish has different size glitters and they glow different colours. I just think it's really, really pretty, especially because it goes with the tone that we've got underneath as well. And I've just gone in with a third coat of this just to make sure that glitter is really well piled on there so it shines through our other design, because it's kind of going to be a little bit like a peekaboo design where the glitter is peeking through the design that we put on top. So I'm just going in with some matte coat over the top of that, and this is just going to even out any texture we've got off any of the glitter, which isn't much to be honest, and just leave a nice matte layer so that we can do some design work on top and it won't slide around. Once that's cured, I'm using Snow White and a fine detail brush, and I'm just mapping out where I want my section. So I'm just adding in some vertical and horizontal lines to make a bit of a grid, and that's going to decide where our pattern's going to sit. So I'm just adding in a couple of fine lines just on either side of the nail. Just make sure that they're equal. They don't have to be perfect because we are going in with a lot of other stuff, but just try and make sure they're as straight and equal as you can get. And then I'm just doing the same horizontally, so I'm doing one in the middle and then doing a couple of equally spaced ones as well, further down and further up the nail. It's totally up to you if you want to cure these lines individually or you want to wait till the design's kind of done at the end. I did it in kind of random sections because I knew there was going to be some bits where I'd probably get it wrong and have to wipe it off and that kind of thing. But you will get more texture if you cure each section, because you won't be able to smooth it out when you're doing your design work, like joining these lines up and stuff. So it's totally up to you, kind of a bit of trial and error of what works for you as well. So I went in and just cured it at that point because I knew I'd got the lines right, but I thought this section might be the bit where it goes a little bit wrong. So I'm just going in with Snow White and just doing a curved line, as you can see on this cross section on each side, and it kind of makes almost like a star shape, like an elongated rectangle, rhombus, whatever you call it. But you're just going to kind of follow these steps, do those kind of curved lines and join up those sections. And you're just going to do that on these two on this side and then on the middle cross section on the other side. And you can see how it's kind of taking shape like a Moroccan tile, or like, you know, like floor tiles, really nice floor tiles, maybe Victorian tiles, that kind of thing. I'm just going to pop it into cure at this point because I'm happy with what I've got so far, and this next section could go wrong, and luckily I did, because it did go wrong. So what you're wanting to do is do a couple of curved lines in between all of these squares, essentially. It's really hard to explain, so you're just going to have to watch and see what I do, but basically you'll see I've gone in and I've done them a little bit too close to the center diagonal of this square. So I go in and I just wipe them all off. because what I really wanted to do was go in with a little bit more of a curved line, and it's going to kind of look like an eye. Can you see what I mean? Or a petal, that kind of thing. And you're just going to join up all of those squares in exactly the same way, and you're just going to alternate which way they go. So if you just follow along with what I'm doing, you can't go too far wrong, because like I say, it's quite hard to explain and a little bit faffy, but it's actually quite easy to achieve the right look with this. So yeah, just go in and do that same process on every single square, and I'm just going to let you watch this until it's done. Once I'm happy with all of that pattern work that I've done, I'm going to pop it into Cure, and then I'm going to be taking a dotting tool and just adding a dot of that white polish on all of the cross sections again that don't have the stars on, just to give it like a little bit of 3D work. It just adds a little bit of something and finishes it off as well, neatens it all up. Once that's cured, I'm going in with some top coat and adding a nice layer of that all over the top just to seal it all in. And I did realise at this point that it kind of looked a bit gingerbready, and it's totally the wrong time of year for gingerbread, but I don't really care, and I think it's cute, and you could do this in any colour that you wanted. You could even change the top colour, and there you go. I think it's turned out really cute, and it's actually quite simple to do something very, very detailed, especially something that's so small as well, with lots of little lines. But I hope you enjoyed this video. All of the products that I've used will be tagged in the video and tagged down below as well, and we hope to see you next time, guys. See you later. Bye.